Hi, Amy with AJ's Vintage Designs and Fashion Toppings here on the Dixie Belle YouTube channel. And I wanted to show you a quick tip when it comes to using dark waxes just to accent in. This has got recessed squares, but you don't really see it. I want to take advantage and I want to bring this detail out. I want people to see that there's a recessed panel here and there's a recessed panel here. Now, a lot of times you've seen already when people do the rounded corners, which that has a great look. That's one option. People use that for kitchen cabinets, that type of deal. But I wanted to show you something a little bit different in case you didn't want to do, waxing with the rounded corners. And I'm gonna show you something that's quick and easy. And I'm gonna be using Easy Peasy Wax in clear. And today I'm gonna be using the Best Dang Wax in brown. And I'm going to show you how much. Now this piece is a gorgeous piece I'm working on. It's got a pickup truck on the front, but you just don't see the details. So let's bring out the details. Okay, first thing I want to do is, now chalk paint is porous. And so anything that gets on the chalk paint, the chalk paint's gonna want to grab it. And so if you don't do this first step, it'll still work, but you just have less movement of your wax. And let me explain real quick. So since the chalk paint is a porous, style paint, I'm putting the clear wax on first. That's gonna cause a barrier between the paint and my dark wax, which you're gonna be able to see. And I'm gonna be wanting to move my dark wax. But if my dark wax was directly on my chalk paint and I try to move it, it's gonna be more difficult to move because the paint's gonna wanna hold on to it. So by putting the clear wax on first, it allows the dark wax to glide, if that makes any sense. Okay, and I like to use the Easy Peasy Wax because it's easy peasy. I mean, you won't believe how easy this is. This is also for those of you who already own waxed furniture. And once a year you should update your wax just to, give that nice sheen, that soft, feathery, buttery look of chalk paint. If you have wax on it, if you ever see that your wax is starting to, wear off a little bit where your texture is not quite the same, then use a spray wax. It's this easy, watch this. Okay, so I'm gonna coat this with one coat of spray wax first. I'm just spritzing it on the entire surface. Just making sure it's misted on there. I'm gonna look at an angle, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I'm just gonna let it soak in here for a minute. Now the great thing about the Easy Peasy Wax is it dries in 30 minutes and it cures in 6 hours. I mean, right there, it's in writing. Dries in 30 minutes and cures in 6 hours. That is fabulous. Okay, so I like to use just my little staining pads. Or you can use a white, a lint-free white t-shirt. You wanna be careful not to use colored t-shirts because you don't know what kind of dye is in them and you might end up getting on here and then the dye from your shirt comes off on your piece. That would be terrible. So stick with white to be safe and make sure it's lint-free. I'm just going to rub it in, just gently. It'll soak up as much as it needs, and anything that it doesn't need, it's gonna leave sitting on the top. So you do need to make sure you're wiping it back. It's just like if you're putting, lotion on your skin. Your skin soaks up what it needs, and whatever's left, is on top. You kind of gotta wipe it off. So. There we go. So now I have a clear protective coat that is going to help my dark wax glide when I put it on. And I'll show you that too. Okay, the Best Dang Wax in brown is what I'm gonna be using. And Dixie Belle sells chip brushes. They have a high quality chip brush that is just amazing. It's one of those ones that you can have several uses before you throw it away. So their premium brushes are fabulous for this, and you can also use, just the quick throwaway brushes as well. But I never throw away my chip brushes. I chop them off. See how I chopped it off? See how short it is? I chop off the top. So when the paint is dried on there and you have all that stiff paint at the top, I don't throw them away. I cut them off and I turn them into wax brushes. I have a ton of these. I have one for every color of wax I've got. And the wax actually keeps it soft. So this isn't hard, it keeps it soft. I don't wash my wax brushes either. So Dixie Belle has a larger brush, like their Belle brushes work great for waxing, but I just want to get into the grooves. So I needed a sharper edge of a wax brush to be able to get in these grooves. And so that is why I'm using the cutoff chip brush. That's one tip, is using a cutoff chip brush. I'm gonna tap, tap, tap in my wax. And then so I don't have any clumps, I'm gonna tap it off on the lid. Okay, and then I'm gonna have a t-shirt nearby. Okay, I'm gonna draw a line right in along that edge. I'm gonna outline basically this box. And this is where you see a lot of people do the rounded edges. They'll go around the edges so you have that roundness, and I do that on a lot of pieces. But this piece has got so many square elements to it that I just want to keep that square look. So I'm just gonna go around the edges. Already you can see the box. I'm gonna tap, tap, tap. Okay, and now here's the difference. I'm gonna zoom you in. Okay, so now instead of doing the rounded edges, I'm gonna stick my brush in the corner, and I'm going to just pull straight out. I'm gonna flick out, making little wispies. I'm gonna zoom you in even more. Okay, I want you to see how I'm doing this edge. So I'm gonna grab it, I'm gonna pull it out, creating those little wispies. I'm gonna go to the top, pull it out, and I'm just flicking it, causing little wispies. See how I'm doing that? And I'm gonna go all the way down the edge, doing that, just the little wispies. See how natural that looks? Okay, let me do this bottom corner here. And then I'm gonna flick up. It's all about just quick flicks. So it makes it kind of feathered. Then I'm going to take a t-shirt, put my fingers in there, and then I'm going to rub. So. And the great thing about Dixie Belle's waxes are that they're water-based. See how easy this moves? I love their waxes. They're so easy to work with. And just pulling it in, giving that natural, dirty, grungy look that happens over time. Here we go. Okay, and it does kind of have that rounded look. This is just another way of doing it. So you don't have to worry about that rounded circle. But that's how I put on my wax right there. Now, if I have a mistake, if for chance, let me just put a little splash in here. Oops, I got a little bit of wax in the center there. You don't have to worry about it. So if I accidentally get wax in place I don't want it, I just take my clear wax, my easy peasy wax, spray it on my finger, and use it as an eraser. The clear wax works as an eraser as well. So if you don't have to be scared of using wax, because the clear wax is gonna kind of help you out as long as you're catching it right away. You wanna work in small sections. You're not gonna be outlining your entire piece and then going back and doing this and rubbing it back. You're gonna do it in small sections. Okay, so let's do this other side. So it's just another way, you know, if you find that doing the rounded corners, which gives you a very similar look, but you may feel it might be too hard, or you're having difficulty with it, I'm just giving you another option. Put your brush in there, flick it. Put your brush in the corner there, flick it. You're just flicking it. Pushing it into the edges and flicking it out. Not worrying about, because it's gonna naturally create that rounded look, or, you know, whatever look you end up pulling it with your rag with. There we go. Okay, so see, just use my brush to pull it out. Now I'm gonna take my rag, and now I'm gonna blend it. It's going right down the edge and blending. Okay, and I got some on the outside here, which is fine. I can rub it in. But if I don't want it on the outside, what do? Easy peasy wax. The easy peasy wax. Spray it on my rag, on a clean part of my rag. Spray it on my finger. It becomes an eraser. So you always have to work with a clean spot when you're erasing though. Voila, look at how clean I got that. Okay, and now I see that I need to blend that just a little bit more because it's a little harsh right here. This wax is very easy to work with. Because it's water-based, it also feels very buttery. It's like putting, you know, you're spreading butter on your piece. Okay, and I want to make sure my two sides match, and this area right here does not match. Right here, it does not match over here. It doesn't look as natural. So I'm going to flick a little more right there. I go along the top a little bit, adding some wax, and then I'm going to rub it back. Oops, I grabbed a spot that had the clear wax on it. Okay. So we're just, this is how you're gonna make it look aged and grungy and give you all that dimension. Okay, let me zoom back out. Okay, so you can see how easy it is. You can either do the putting your brush and drawing in the rounded edges. You can do that. I'm just showing you this way. I just feel personally is easier for me. And so I just brush in, pull down, brush in, pull out. And then I've got the wax in the corner. I've got that feathery look, so it's not a harsh line, and then it's easier to buff out. Let's go ahead and do this bottom one, but right now you can already see the difference between having a waxed, detailed section versus not. This really makes it pop. So waxing is a fabulous way to bring a lot of character to your piece. I'm gonna go ahead and do this bottom piece before we go, and you can see it when it's done, and then I'll take some after pictures as well. Okay, well there you have it. Just a quick tip and trick on putting your wax on to bring out the details on your piece. All you need to have is a clear wax, either the Best Dang Wax in Clear or the Easy Peasy, which is my favorite. The Easy Peasy wax, which comes in clear. Put that on first, then you can pick your colored wax. You can use your Best Dang Wax in brown, black, grunge gray, or white. This technique works for all of them. And then have a clean white lint-free like t-shirt or rag that you can use to wipe it back, and you're good to go. Okay, well there you have it. This is Amy with AJ's Vintage Designs and Fashion Toppings here on the Dixie Belle YouTube channel. That was a quick tip and trick for applying wax to bring out the details on your piece. Okay, and don't forget to like and subscribe down below and click on that little bell so you get notified each and every time a new video is uploaded. And then check out my blog page at www.ajsvintagedesigns.com. Okay, well until next time, I hope you have a great day.